gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
UAE Innovates, originally named UAE Innovation Week and inaugurated in 2015, underwent a name change in its third iteration in 2017 to UAE Innovation Month. It has evolved into a significant event honoring innovators and innovation over the past 8 years, thereby nurturing a society-wide culture of creativity. If you are interested in innovation, AI, and high-tech, you can be part of this new global giant on ONPASSIVE, and build an affiliate business from home free. Simply register at www.coolzone.ai.
Hey, Magic Unicorn of ONPASSIVE. Watch this short clip and see what Marty and Chris want to do for all of you dedicated followers to our channel. Yeah, very cool. Don't forget to subscribe, ring that bell, and give them a thumbs up. Yes. Check this out now.
Hello to our dedicated followers on YouTube. We are pleased to express our gratitude by featuring your registration link on our live stream every Sunday. Remember that this is only for our viewers. Simply send your OES registration to onpassiveqrcode@gmail.com. Only submit one link. Thank you. Marty DeGarmo and Chris Johnson.
Hello, everyone. As you can see, we have a special guest. Robin, the voice noble, is here. After that powerful update yesterday, that was one of my favorite of all time, because I love the idea that Ash was so happy at what was going down. So, especially since he's on the front line of this craziness, trying to build this company. So it was very good. I was absolutely blown away. I know all of us were, actually. I'm going to do a quick summary or update of what went on. I know it's on all the channels, by the way. It was put on 20 channels yesterday. And so everybody should have had an opportunity to look at it. It's powerful, very powerful. First thing I want to say before I start, we've always talked about when people get a little anxious over stuff, that every time Ash comes back, or every time we think the sky is falling, something really good comes out. Something really, really good comes out. Anyway, let me go after some of the stuff, and we'll all probably give our opinion on some of it the best we can. If we don't know, I always say I don't know. Anyway, Ash, before tentatively, we are on track for a new release of O Connect. We've talked about that off and on for a while, but it's been given a facelift, a rebuild. It's a $6 billion man now, or whatever it might be worth. But when it comes back, it's scheduled for next week, the end of next week. Scheduled for the end of next week. Okay. We know by now, if it happens, fantastic. If it takes a few more days, we know the nature of the beast. This is a beast, and not everybody is gung-ho about ONPASSIVE as we are. But don't worry, in the long run, we win. We've been winning ever since Ash started this adventure 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and 20 years ago in his mind. Teams have implemented a few AI features, virtual background translation, and zero lag. Um, this will help the deaf community. There is a universal language. There's a lot of sign language. I didn't know that a couple years ago. I thought you have sign language, you got it. Everybody understands it. That's not the case. There's many sign languages from different countries, but they do have a universal one, and that will be on where people will be able to see it. I mean, that is amazing. And what happened? Somebody brought up, a deaf person brought up about the deaf community, and that planted in Ash's mind. He never forgot. So this is they have a universal sign language that almost everyone understands. This is there is a good process for the sign language feature. A department in the UK is working on translation for sign language. Something's coming so valuable for Academy, all teaching businesses, lawyers, etc. OConnect has a few features called share. He said share, and then he said share. Documents can immediately be shared to the software. Fantastic. Everything is now. Everything with ONPASSIVE is click now. And let me tell you, that's a big deal because we all know that we have a way we forget. Life goes on. You're in something, you hear about it, you get off, you got to go get the kids from school, you got to go shopping, and you start forgetting what you heard. Now you can download the info like instantly. The idea that when you're talking and there's translation, as said, there's zero lag time. So while you're talking, it's translated in a language. Now it comes off by default in the language I think that you're talking. Then you can change it from what he said. That's crazy. I'm blown away over this. Now this was an unscheduled meeting, so this is how powerful it was. This is what they came in unscheduled. They cut out of a meeting to come here. It blew me away. Several new positions have been filled to provide so much more value to our customers, PhDs and inventors. Okay, they're bringing in. Listen, we've said this too. We look at ONPASSIVE and we see what we see. Okay, but trust me, these people coming in aren't looking for work. They're not looking for a job. They're fine. Why would they come? Because they see behind the curtain. They see where we're going and what's going on, and that is powerful. There's a lot of companies they could go to, and why did they pick ONPASSIVE? They picked it because they know what we know, and even more. So that's pretty powerful. We have had a couple of rough weeks, losing partners and sickness, affecting founders and technicians. People got sick. Some people did it for attention. Chris fell off the ball. Let's make sure he filled that in that Chris was doing anything he could to get attention. It worked. It worked. I think he fell and thought he wasn't going to break two ribs. Backfired on him. That's all. We have been certified by a few major companies: Cisco, CompTIA, TA, and three others pending. Now let me express my opinion from what I know about these type of things. Cisco's huge. They got 30 some years. Okay. Getting verified was a big deal. Even in the company I work for, they had something called ISO 9000. Some people said ISO 9000, said it real quick. And when we were in the process of being certified, it was a nightmare. I mean, you had to have certain things labeled, you had to have pipes labeled. And we ran an electroplating company where we made copper foil for circuit boards. So everything was pipes, and I mean thousands of different pipes and valves, and we had to label everything, get it all right, and then they come in and they verify you. And I'll tell you what, we had companies that would not buy from us, and they were big companies. Most did, but some of the big was like government contract companies. Soon as we got the certificate for ISO 9000, they came to us. And that seal or that certification is money in the bank. Okay. It makes people go, I'm going there. In fact, some companies look for certain seals before they'll even talk to anybody. And for our company, who, my opinion, hasn't even started yet. Yes, we had a spinner and a sputter in a first gear and kicked out the clutch and blew a transmission, but it wasn't our fault. Somebody sold us faulty tires and we got flat tire. Listen, this bad boy's about to take off again, and this time I believe it's gonna shake up the world. Because let's remember, even that little spinner sputter thing, September 1st, rocked the world. People went, "Oh my God, who is this company moving that much money, resources back and forth in a matter of what, week? I don't even think it went a week. That's crazy. That's cool stuff. I can't imagine we run steady forever now. What's going to happen monthly, yearly? I mean, I think I believe people wake up with tears in their eyes of what happened. When Ash tells a million people to dream bigger, I mean, I can see telling two or three people, but telling the whole company dream bigger, and all you got to do is be in it to win it. I mean, some people don't want to be in it and they want to win. Sorry, that's not the way it works. Got to buy the product. You got to own it. Once you own it, you can make a commission. You already know that we're with ICANN. ICANN means we can do whatever GoDaddy does. That's powerful because to break it down to uh, for dummies like me, digital property is valuable as land on earth. Okay, when you own digital property, it's valuable, and the more you own, the more valuable it is. Go look up domain names like Coca-Cola or Easy 101 or whatever, something like that. Millions. There's domain names worth 35, $40 million. No joke. Why? Because they were branded. That's why I tell people when you're going for a domain, take your time. I know people want to go in and go, mylittlepoodle.com. Think about what you're doing. Think about something that's easy to remember, and it could be a big deal because the branding machine, you all have it. I'm going to tell you what it is. It's called ONPASSIVE. The branding machine is going to make you a superhero. I said it. And by the way, if you can't see that yet, something's wrong. Everything they do is branding me and you and everyone. And that is so powerful and it blows me away. There has been a major breakthrough with blockchain. He didn't get into details, but you can look up blockchain on YouTube, Blockchain for Dummies. Blockchain can be used for everything. You can store information and you can store a planet worth of information. It's the way it's designed. Okay. It's very good for, you first heard about it by Bitcoin, right? Back in 2009, blockchain was invented or developed. So, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's in banking. You can use blockchain to throw 15 libraries in it. No joke. It'll hold anything you want. And it's very, very secure. This can be used for crypto. This can be used for if monetary money. So it's a big, big deal. Without him saying it, trust me, it's a big deal. Real big. Mr. Kamal video event shared on the World Police Summit, March 5th and 7th, 5th to the 7th this year. And ONPASSIVE is the host. This is hosting this with Dubai Police. ONPASSIVE was chosen to be the one to handle this event. Once again, they picked ONPASSIVE. Okay, they could have picked anybody. And there's a video that I'm going to show you that shows you how big this really is. And there's police stations from around the world going. I believe Robin can tell you that. I think she looked into the UK or Canada or whatever. They're almost every country sending somebody, and that's a big deal. So that was another rock the boat, flip the thing upside down event that we heard yesterday. More and more partnerships are on the side. Major vetting and scrutiny was done to qualify ONPASSIVE. They don't just come up and say momandpop.com. Hey, you want to host? No. It's a lot of vetting, which means they are looking at ONPASSIVE with a magnifying glass. Police in Dubai has invited all police departments around the world to this summit. It is a very, very big event. Mr. Kamal and Susan, Dr. Susan, Professor Susan, had a meeting with many of the officers of the police department, and that's where they came across and they decided to choose ONPASSIVE for this big event. I don't know about you, but it blew me away. I was speechless, and that's a pretty big deal for a big mouth like me. So, this is okay. This shows how credible ONPASSIVE is. Then ask me for I said a story, and this probably the coolest story that I've heard. Back in 1987, 37 years ago, if he's 49, he's either 12 years old or 13 years old, okay? Doesn't matter. When he was introduced to an old Macintosh computer in Cairo, Egypt, he won a scholarship to go to, here it is, the birth of computers and programming and IT. And he went, and it was overwhelming to him, and he had a desire to know some of these people, and he wanted to know what they know. Now, Ash is that guy. He's been that guy since he was a little boy. Thank God, because we wound up working with that guy, and he is taking care of all of us. He said he was fascinated, and it blew his mind. He knew that this was the industry for him, even back then at 12 years old. Some of the IT instructors over 30 years ago are now working with ONPASSIVE. How crazy is that? And you could see the twinkle in his eye. I felt so good for him. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. He's on the front line of craziness. And for him to have this good time about this meant a lot to most of us. That was the most powerful thing where, some of the people that actually taught that young boy, 12 years old, with a mind like a sponge, and now they came and tell me God isn't beautiful, right? They come back 30 years old and working with us. He said one of them is a PhD heading a new department with ONPASSIVE. This professor has many degrees, taught in many areas, has built a group of 4,000 people in the field collaboration. Some are already being attracted to ONPASSIVE. Oh my gosh. And he said, man, am I overwhelmed? And that's such a beautiful thing. And what he said about this gentleman is, we have a picture of him, but what he said about him is that he surrounds himself with the best and only settles for the best. Like he's a stickler, like he's not, there's no lip service with this guy. You are the best or you're not going to be with him. And to have somebody that is a leader of this type, oh my God, what is it going to do for all of us in ONPASSIVE? Just wrap your head, if you can, around that. I'll show you that. I believe I have it here. No, it's probably not big enough. It doesn't matter, but let me show a video real quick of the Dubai thing that they're having with the police. Give me one. It's only about a minute long. Wow. If that doesn't make you proud, take your ball and go home. Uh, I'm just kidding. No, but I'm really excited. I could talk all day on this, and I better not. I am so glad I talked to Robin and Chris. Uh, we feed off each other really, really well. Both of them make me think, and you can't ask for more than that. In fact, I believe this whole live that we do is about causing people to think, what if, and what we're part of. If you could just dare to go one step and believe what we're seeing, how powerful it is, and what it's going to do for your family and your family's family and generations to come, I believe. I'm going to turn it over to a very, very good friend, a sister from another mister, the voice, Robin Noble.
Hi, Marty. Thank you, Chris. Good morning to both of you. Hello, everybody out there in listening land. This is another amazing day after a 360, an ONPASSIVE 360, where Ash came on with Muhammad Kamal to share some information. And the sad part of it was that so few people heard him live. The good thing is that hopefully this particular timing of yesterday's ONPASSIVE 360 will be shared and will be watched by many, many, many more people. It needs to be sent out there. People need to hear and see the excitement in Ash's voice and on his face. The challenges, delays, hiccups were overcome yesterday by how excited Ash was, by his honesty, by his telling us of a personal story, and it's come full circle now in his life. And the pride and the joy that I felt actually brought me to tears. It was that emotional for me that he was able to bring something like this forward and to be part of it from a young age, and how he was inspired into an industry that developed into a dream, that developed into what we have as ONPASSIVE. And just think of what he's going to be doing and what is happening now for people following and listening and watching and learning about ONPASSIVE, and the doors and the opportunities that will be opening the more and more that ONPASSIVE gets known to the world. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing that's happening, and so I am so grateful to be part of this. I really am. The joy, I'm doing this backwards now because I was going to come from a different perspective, but the joy on Ash's face and Muhammad Kamal's face at being able to tell us this about his professor, of when he was at that scholarship summer camp to learn about computers, and to have one of those professors bring his team of global connections and colleagues from around the world into ONPASSIVE to work with Ash has come full circle. And I don't believe Ash needs any form of validation in terms of what he's doing and what he knows and where he's going with ONPASSIVE. But the validation that he is getting from somebody that he has respected so much, and to be reconnected with this professor years later and back into that community of intelligence, integrity, science, and knowledge is massive. It's absolutely massive. And we have no idea yet where this is going. But just know that this is going to be opening doors right, left, and center around the world. And we are benefiting from it. The world is going to benefit from it, but we are benefiting from this. And they are doing this for us and for the world. So I'm starting off right here. Be proud, everybody. You may not understand what ONPASSIVE is all about, but you have to be proud with this type of information that's coming to us. And when Ash is quiet, you cannot really think that nothing is happening. You have to understand that things like this, like the announcements yesterday, are happening every single day, every couple of days. Can they talk to us about everything? No. But in due course, we will know, we will see by the numbers, by the businesses, by the governments that are joining us, that are promoting ONPASSIVE, we will see the efforts and the work that they've been doing behind the scenes for us, for the world. So that made me as thrilled as Marty was. I was emotional and deeply touched by what happened yesterday when Ash told us that story. Now, let's take this to a really second part of what this was all about. The police summit. This is huge. This is absolutely incredible. And we don't know about all the summits and meetings that go on in the different industries and various countries around the world. We're starting to find out more because of our involvement in ONPASSIVE, because of ONPASSIVE's involvement with these summits, either being invited to join or partnerships or forging ahead themselves. So we will be learning more and more and more about where ONPASSIVE is going and what it is becoming involved in. The police infrastructure, the police industry, the industry of policing the world has changed so much over the years and decades since I was a little girl. And that's going back 6 decades. You know, when we were small, police were one thing, you know, you behaved yourself, you know, criminals did a certain amount of things, but nowhere near the amount of situations occurred to our knowledge. And again, as we grow up, as we get involved in life, we learn more and more about what happens out there in the world. But the police have got such a job looking after us in our local communities, in our states, in our countries. Some people love the police, some people hate the police. But the police departments are part of law and order that humans will break the rules and need to be brought back in line. Criminals, all sorts of things. We need to have some form of guidance and stronger, and we need to have people looking out for our best interests, especially when we don't, and especially when the criminals are out there overrunning so many areas. I had the privilege and the good fortune of working with many, many police forces and meeting many policemen and women around the world in my position as tour director, taking VIP high-end guests and customers on the cruise ships into the different countries. And we had to ensure that they were kept safe. We had to ensure that the tours that they were on were safe for them to participate in, the locations and things like that. So I was very fortunate. Sometimes incredibly scary, and sometimes ports and tours had to be aborted because we couldn't go in because of the situation of how dangerous it might have been. But this particular police summit in 2024 is looking at topics, for instance, the search and rescue dogs and teams that go in after there have been earthquakes, that there have been disasters around the world. There have been the trafficking of people, drugs, and organs, the dark web, the financial criminals, AI situations that that shut systems down around the world, the damage that's done to people's businesses, to the governments, money laundering. Interpol's involved, FBI is involved. These are people that talk behind the scenes and have very good relationships, for the most part, with each other, with different police departments, in order to keep a smooth flow of information and technology flowing so that they can try and make the world a safer, better place again for all of us. It's not an easy job. 128 countries participating minimum in this summit. Speakers, and if you go and look at the speakers list on their website, you will see speakers coming there, obviously from Dubai, the host country in this case, from India, from the UK, from Canada, from the US. Now think of this and realize the impact that this is going to be having on the governments, on the interaction between people, the visibility of ONPASSIVE at this summit. Now, whether we have a booth there, whether we have the insignia there, whether we have the logos, whether we have representation there physically, the fact that ONPASSIVE was chosen by the Dubai police to be partnering with them for their media and their work, getting this, I'm going to say award, but getting this partnership, getting this amazing accolade and acknowledgement from the Dubai government, from the Dubai police, is huge for ONPASSIVE. It should not be any secret by now that Dubai really loves ONPASSIVE. They see it, they understand it, they want to move forward with Ash and with the departments of ONPASSIVE. So let's celebrate all of this. Their work and networking at this summit is with people and senior officers, senior department heads within the global police forces from around the world to make it all safer. And to be able to be part of this, to know that our company was chosen to represent and to assist them with what they need and want to do, again, huge. So stand up, be proud, be respectful of the information that we are given, and understand that not everything can be told to us as it happens. Sometimes we will hear things after it's occurred. If we're fortunate, we will hear about things before they happen. But sometimes security and safety is also an issue, and especially now as we start to move into a bigger and wider, broader aspect of what ONPASSIVE does, it would not surprise me if there are times when there are great big silences or, quote, gaps, or times when we just are not aware of the work that is being done behind the scenes. But by now, we should know, we should be able to trust that when these silences occur, we know that there is work going on, and we know that Ash will come forward with Mohammed Kamal, with Mohammed Nazal, with the other Mohammeds and any other department head in time to give us information that is pertinent for us to know about. And the long range of all of this is that they're doing it for us, and we are going to be benefiting from it. Is it happening in our time frame? No, not necessarily. But go back and look at the notes, go back and Google, go back and see how long it has taken good, strong, legitimate, integrity businesses to get out there into this level. And we are doing this in leaps and bounds through the connections that ONPASSIVE has, through the connection that the Mohammeds are bringing to us, that Ash has. And now these amazing professors, Dr. Susan, and the doors that she opens. We have no idea the amount of work that she's doing behind the scenes. We also have more products that are coming. They are queuing up right now to be released to us. This is suddenly going to be such a huge portal of information, of products, of joy and excitement. Remember, this is the one product that we're working with O Connect right now. So for Ash to be saying that these additional pieces of translation, direct translation, how amazing is that? To be able to talk to teams if you have another business, to be able to communicate in different platforms in different languages right away, to bring in the deaf community. That was something that Ash wanted to do way up front. It takes time. He's doing it. Look how successful this is becoming. Look how this is being known. And we have a choice whether we choose to take any portion of ONPASSIVE and take it out there into the public, or whether we choose to sit and relax and say thank you for the work that everybody is doing. We can just stay in appreciation and gratitude. So again, let's continue the prayers for everybody who needs them. And even if you don't know if they need them, prayers for the whole of the ONPASSIVE community, for the executive teams, for Ash, for his family, for all of us, for corporate. And we want to say thank you to all of them for what they are doing. So thank you again for inviting me to be with you. The mission and the goal and the statement for this year's police summit is together for a safer tomorrow. I think that's beautiful. And I think that we can take that and know that ONPASSIVE is playing a huge part in the safety and the joy and the changes, the positive changes for the world as we move forward. Thanks, Marty. Thanks, Chris, for having me on here with you. It's always a joy, and I always learn from being with the two of you.
Mr. Johnson.
I'm trying to think what is Robin learning from us? Robin, it's always a pleasure for you to be here and listen to your words. I got 20 minutes. I'll try not to talk all. Red Redford is following us at 11 o'clock for his version of the update, which is always pretty exciting. Marty, thank you for giving that update. Absolutely wonderful. Robin, it's always a pleasure and honor to be on here. I want to start out with just calling a few people out for some prayers like I always do. Robin just said pray for everyone. Yeah, I want to call some people out. One of them is her, Robin Noble. I had a lady contact me this morning, Yvonne Emerzariel. If I said that wrong, I'm sorry. She is fighting lung cancer. Let's give some big prayers. Jean's daughter is doing better. She's thanking everyone for the prayers. We're still to continue that. Bill Must is still going through some things. He's got a big test March 12th. So keep saying prayers for Bill. Not sure if he's on here today, but he's watching all the time. John White, thank you for all the information you have given me. Also, Jane's mother, keep saying prayers for her. Listen, all these people are important. I sometimes forget. I don't mean to. Harold, we love you. We're still waiting for you to come back. Hope you're doing great. Dr. Bill, I know, is fighting the flu. Prayers for him. And anyone else that I missed, but let's just keep praying. It's a big thing. I do want to start this out because I believe in God, and I believe God is great, and God is part of this company. So I'm not afraid to talk about it. I thank God every day for my life. I thank God every day for ONPASSIVE. I thank God every day for my friends in ONPASSIVE and around the world. I want to start out with a big bang. Really, this is all that needs to be said. We can listen to Marty. We can listen to Robin. We can listen to Red. But this is all that needs to be said, honestly. Ash Mafara, I made a big post about it today. He said, I am overwhelmed where we are. That was enough for me. Tears, goosebumps, just awesomeness when he said that. And it rolled out of his mouth. You could see how proud and happy he is. Both him and Muhammad Kamal were smiling from ear to ear. They told us about possibly tentatively what's going to happen next week and how exciting that is. Listen, there's one important thing that I didn't see in the notes that Ash Mafar said. And someone just asked the question here, what really do we have to do with let me tell you something. Robin said a bunch of beautiful things about that police organization in Dubai. Why they chose us. Why they trust us. That's the number one thing in a company. If people trust you or the company, it's all beautiful from there. Ash Mafar said this. I don't know if a lot of you heard it or didn't hear it. It's not in the notes. He said the entire police force around the world is going to trust us with their data. Very, very powerful words, I believe he said. I don't know if you caught that. I did. For some reason, I'm a horrible listener, but I always catch those marks. Muhammad Kamal said exactly the same thing. I want to do a huge shout out for all these guys, from Ash Mafar, Muhammad Kamal, Nazell, the other Muhammad, Dr. Professor Susan for being there at this wonderful police organization thing going on. Dr. Tarek, anyone, the Hyderabad team, you guys rock. You rock my world. You gave me another reason why I should get up and smile every single day. And that's the truth. And a lot of you, maybe you're in a bad situation right now, but good times are coming. Good things are coming. As you can see, these guys work around the clock. They jumped off a meeting yesterday just to come in and give us this information, which was enough. That ashmophobia should be gone for at least 3 days. I'm sure you guys will start at it again, but he's very, very busy. He's busy working for us. Listen, regret is an ache in your bones. I have regrets in my life from future investments, future friends, future just relationships, but I don't have no ache in my bones because of passive. I'm glad I jumped into it. I'm glad I joined it. I'm glad I learned it because it's taken me places that I've never. Listen, yep, retired, big deal. Retired with a pension. It's not a big deal. It was 32 years of my life that I can never get back. I'm glad I did it. I succeeded, and this company that I'm in now, I'm passive. I don't have to do nothing to succeed. What did Ash Mafara say? Is you've already won. You've already succeeded just by getting into a passive. That was Michael Williams' big thing for years. All you had to do was get in. Many of you have gotten into this and you stuck with it. I know personally the people that are 100% on passive founders, and probably 100% of them that are on here. I know there's silent people out there who just chose to keep quiet. I know that you're there. I know you believe in passive. Positive thoughts, prayers for this entire family, no matter who you are. Anyone that wants to be negative, I think you're in the wrong company. There is no negative in this company. The ups and downs, Ash was saying, we got some things here. We did this didn't work out. What did he say? Another important thing he said, sometimes you have to learn from your mistakes. He said those words too. See, that's the kind of stuff I pick on. Absolutely. We all learn from our mistakes. Ash Mafar came on and said, yep, we did some things wrong. We learned from it. All right. Now, I want to do another shout out to all these individuals. You have no idea who they are. We were introduced to one of them yesterday. Coolest story I've heard out of Ash Mafar. That is the first time I have to say that he shared something with his younger life now. And listen, he had 3 choices that he could have went to. 3 places that he could have went to, if you remember what he said there. He chose to go with Egypt, right? If I'm not mistaken. Now, what if Ash would have went to the other 2? What if he chose the other 2? Would it be the same situation? I bet you yes. Because I think anywhere Ash goes, he gets people's attention because how wise he is, his wisdom. And that little story right there gave me a whole nother idea of Ash Mafara and his passion, how far it went back. 13, 14, it doesn't matter how old he was. All right. Because at that, there's a lot more to his story when he was that age that'll blow you away a little bit. You're not going to find out till later. But he told us a big part of where ONPASSIVE really started, but he won't admit to that. He had this passion in his veins, in his blood about technology. And God led him right to that computer, that Macintosh bubble computer. And these great individuals that taught him, and they seen something in Ash. What did they see that 30 years later that they said, we got to join you? Let's do this together. These individuals, the one guy we're talking about, 4,000 individually selected people that he think the best of the best. You might as well call this when the Air Force honors these flight people, they got to go through a million things to get in. That's what these people did. 4,000 people. Where do you think those 4,000 individuals who are extremely smart and know everything are coming? Think about that. We're talking about the one guy. Think about the 4,000 individuals that he trained, found, induced himself, and yeah, this is the one. This is the one. This 4,000 people. Where do you think they're going? Where do you think they're going? Now, take those 4,000 individuals and times it by 100. How many lives did those 4,000 individuals touch outside with their knowledge, their wisdom? And guess where they're coming? To ONPASSIVE. Why? Because they see Ash's vision. They believe in what he's doing. They want to do the same thing. All right? Now, I don't know if they all want to be noticed, but I know where they're going to be at. So it doesn't matter to me. I don't have to know any of their names. It's fun to know their names. It's fun to know their background. But just that one individual explains what Ash Mafara was trying to tell you a couple weeks ago. There's people that are coming onboarding ONPASSIVE that will blow you away. He shared one of them with us. There's more to come, guys. There's more to come. Stay in touch with your back office. Understand this. People are coming to ONPASSIVE, not just because they love what he's got going, but it's a trust thing. It's a trust thing as we can trust these individuals. All the stuff we're going through, and we got some of the biggest names in the world, companies and individuals, onboarding into ONPASSIVE. We like what you're doing. We want to see it. We want to work with you. We want to do all this stuff. And that's what Ash Mafara is doing. You may not see it. I may not see it. We hear about it. but you did get a very good visual picture on the kind of people that's coming. I mean, the coolest thing is realize that the 30 years ago, the people that were teaching him are now jumping on board. They saw it when he was 14 years old, guys. These individuals saw what this guy was about. All right, now they want to be part of it. And Ash Mafar opened up with open arms. Come on. Come on. We want you to be part of this. So very, very cool stuff. Remember that. Everything that you do in life, there's a reason for it. I still believe I fell for a reason. I'm here for a couple more weeks. I believe I've got into contact with individuals at this new place I'm going with my cousins, which is called Salty Church. They were talking about last night a little bit about how do we bring the world together. All right. And this is true. Everywhere we go, someone's saying, you vote for this. I don't think like that anymore. I think agree to disagree is a great thing. And I see that a lot in the passive. We're not talking about politics. We're not, look at all the birds again. We're not talking about, we're not telling anyone what to do. Everyone's got a free mind and a free choice, and in passive or what's going on. I believe there's two things that's going to help this world get back together. It's churches or religious leaders that lead people down the right path about what's really important, which is Jesus Christ. And Ash Mafar and on passive, that's going to bring people in for time and freedom and realize that we can fix things. We're not just going to let it go. So on that note, I want to wish everyone a happy birthday who's got a birthday. Praying for everyone that's out there that needs it. Keep praying and know this, that you are in the luckiest spot in the world. 20 years from now, you will be talked about. Whether you like it or not, people will be talking about on Passive and the Founders, because 20 years from now, it is going to be humongous. Marty DeGarmo, back to you.
Drop the mic. Drop the mic. Might drop his mug, but anyway, I would say break a leg, but you'll go out and break a rib instead. So anyway, thank you everybody for being here. Robin, thank you for being here. It was a overwhelming. I felt so happy for Ash yesterday, and definitely for the company what we're part of. I've been blessed enough to understand enough to know that what we have is priceless and would never happen again. They talk about opportunity knocks, once, not an opportunity like this. This is once in 100 years, really, my opinion. But anyway, anybody watching this, if this looks like maybe, I might be want to be part of this unbelievable, find somebody that you know here and get a registration and sign up. Anyway, Robin, do you have anything you want to end with?
I do actually.
Okay.
The one thing that the police that Ash was speaking with, or the teams were speaking with, said after they had proudly announced that they wanted to work with ONPASSIVE was, how can we serve you back? And I think that that is a question and a statement that we can look at ourselves as well in terms of what we can do and how we can do for ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE is doing so much for us. How can we serve ONPASSIVE back? And that, in my opinion, is by staying positive, by including everybody in prayers of gratitude, love, and appreciation, as well as not exaggerating what ONPASSIVE is all about. Stay with the truth. There's certainly enough to be able to share and tell people with what's happening. Spell our company name correctly, capital letters. Stay in the now, and help put other people at ease, especially people that you've brought into ONPASSIVE. Help them to stay comfortable knowing that things are going on and happening in a very, very positive way. So for me, that's what I believe is, how can we serve ONPASSIVE back? But that was a very, very wise question. I found it a very interesting question that the police force of Dubai wanted to know how they could serve ONPASSIVE back. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Chris. Have a wonderful Thursday, everybody, and just stay safe and stay well. Look after each other. Look after yourselves.
Beautiful. Chris, you done? Okay. One thing I want to say, look, there's a couple bad apples. Policemen, policewomen, and the media wants to focus on that. I want to show my appreciation. Without the police, what kind of world would we have? It's a thankless job, and they should be adored and admired for what they do. Don't look at a whole organization around the world for a few bad apples. Because the media focuses on them, everybody thinks they're all that way, and that's just not true. It's just not true. And I love the idea that we're part of this, and I love the idea that they said what Robin said. What can we do for you? Anyway, thank you, everybody. And it is Thursday. We will see you tomorrow, except for Chris. Chris won't be here.
At all
So,
Friday.
yeah, not at all Friday. I will bring on a real guest tomorrow. And I'm just kidding. No, we'll see. We'll see who comes on tomorrow. Anyway, love you all, and thank you very much.